All right, next we will review the theories of motivation in developing relationships. So there's several, but here's just a few that I'm going to cover with you. This should be familiar to our psychology students in here. Who's had psychology in here? So 3 of you have. You're going to recognize these. These are scattered throughout our book, but in more detail, these are covered in Seiler and Beale Communication Works textbook. First one, uncertainty reduction. Second one, social exchange. Third, fundamental interpersonal relations. Social information processing. The next one, the last one I'll review is dialect theory. Uncertainty reduction. Kelsey, Morgan, you remember what this was about? Okay, yeah. Okay. Uncertainty reduction is a pretty well-researched theory, and it basically, it can concern relationships, it can concern situations, but it says that when we are entering into something unfamiliar, we have a high degree of uncertainty, and we will do a number of things in order to reduce that uncertainty. They have 9 axioms, 9 things that are very predictable that we do in order to reduce uncertainty. And I won't go through the axioms, but they're pretty intuitive. So let's say, and I'll just use a scenario, one specific scenario, that you are at a party, and you see somebody that you want to get to know. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It's somebody that you like or you find interesting. This theory will say that at that point, you have a high level of uncertainty about that relationship or about that person. And you're going to do things in order to reduce that uncertainty. So what are the things that you would do in order to reduce that uncertainty?
Get to go talk to them.
You say go talk to them? Okay.
Get to know them.
Okay. So is that both in the direct approach, where you would walk up to them and start talking to them? Or would you do that in a different way? Okay. Well, we'll focus on the direct approach first, and then we'll talk about other things that we can do. So the direct approach, we can go up and just start talking to the person. Hi, you look interesting. Who do you know here? You can start the small talk. What do you think of the weather? And from there, Kelsey doesn't like that. From there, depending on how this person reacts to you, will depend on whether your uncertainty is reduced or if it's raised. So if they are friendly and nice to you, it's likely your uncertainty will be reduced. You'll feel more comfortable with this person. If, on the other hand, they do something that you perceive as rude, maybe they start bad-mouthing your best friend, okay, your uncertainty is going to go up about this person. I don't know. Okay, so that's the direct approach. Now, there's a number of indirect things that you can do, like observation or ask other people about this person. This is commonly done when you, let's say, start a new job. And you need to develop a relationship with your boss, but you may not be that comfortable, for whatever reason, directly approaching that person. So the indirect approach may be to ask somebody else. Okay, I wanted some time off. How does our boss react to that? I didn't want to say anything when I was being hired. What should I do? And you can pick up some information from that person about your boss. And depending on what they say, your uncertainty may increase or reduce. Okay. Or it's the power of observation, just watching the other person. If the other person is friendly to others, just from your own observation, you're probably going to feel more secure about that person. So uncertainty reduction will be reduced. It can be applied in a number of different situations. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, let's move on to the next theory, the social exchange theory. And you might even want to put on page 122 of your book, because they do talk about this cost and rewards. They talk about the social exchange theory, but they don't actually name it. That's one of the theories that they should name in the book. Okay, the social exchange theory says that you are in the relationships you're at, you're in the place where you're at right now in this world because you have decided that there are more rewards for you being in this position than costs. So it's like a currency, a cost and rewards. And the only person that makes this decision as far as where you're at in these situations is you. So it could be your job, it could be a romantic relationship with the social exchange theory, or other friendships. And if you feel that there are more rewards to you than costs, you're going to stay there. If you feel that you are paying out, or there are more costs to you than rewards, you will leave. So an example could be with, maybe you have a friend that's in a relationship that you don't think is very good for him or her. And you may wonder, well, I don't understand why my friend stays with this person. It's social exchange in effect here. It could be that your friend, and there's a number of different reasons, but it could be that your friend feels a lot of pressure to stay with this person because maybe they don't like to be alone, and that's more costly to them than rewards. Or maybe there's a lot of pressure from family members to stay together with that person, and that's reward enough, or the cost would be too much for them to leave that because of high disapproval. A job would do that as well. If you're at a job and you may not like your job, but it's security and you need that paycheck to take care of your family, you're not going to leave that job until there's a better offer out there, until you feel that there are more rewards out there. And so these are the comparisons and the choices that we make. There's a number of different ones. And we do this all the time. How many of you were between a couple of different majors when you first started college and weren't sure what you're going to do? Okay, these are the crossroads of our lives. The only reason why you are in the major you are right now, according to this theory, is because you view there are more rewards for you in going in this career right now than the other one. Now, you get a lot of these crossroads as you move through life. So there'll be times when you go back and you think, I wonder what would have happened if I would have done that other major. But for the time being, the decisions you make according to social exchange are because you view it as having more benefits for yourself, more rewards. Okay, now that we reviewed social exchange theory, the next theory, this was also covered in your group chapter as well.
Yes, Tom.